Well, hello, Happy New Year. I hope you all had a fantastic evening celebrating the New Year. But New Year's Day, of course, means one thing, and Leicester City are back in action as they travel to South Yorkshire to face Sheffield United, following on from ending 2025 in style with that win over Derby.
City the lead after 6 minutes. Ball from Thomas, Jordan James, all the way through, James! Restores Leicester's lead, a 7th goal of the season for Jordan James.
Yes, the first game of 2026 is an away one for Leicester City, who travel to Bramall Lane. We are just under half an hour now away from kick-off up in South Yorkshire. So Leicester hoping to start the new year with a victory, just as they ended 2025 with a victory, as we just saw there against Derby. Welcome along to Matchday Live, and welcome along to the Foxes Hub studio with me, Dan Bates. David Nugent and Matt Elliott are the guests this evening. And Happy New Year to the both of you. I hope you enjoyed last night. Quiet one, wasn't it? All round, really. So,
was it?
Yeah.
You
were asleep before 12. Weren't you?
I was tucked up in bed, which is very unusual. But
your eyes tell a different story.
Getting old. No, that's just wear and tear, mate. But new year, new beginnings, all that. Hopefully so. Fresh starts.
Yeah, feeling optimistic from a Leicester point of view, Nuge, now for the new year?
Yeah. No, obviously, just before, the win against Derby, to coming into this game, we needed it after a few bad results. I think we deserved to win the game. It wasn't like a prolific performance, but we did what we had to do. I thought the young kids at the end showed a lot of energy, to see the game out. And I don't think Derby caused much problems, and I think we deserved to get the 3 points, as we always do against Derby.
Yeah, it was a solid performance, wasn't it? Neither team was spectacular, but a good effort, and most importantly, the result. That was it. Regardless of a couple of setbacks, etc. And finished the year on a positive note, didn't they? And younger lads coming through, making an impact, contributing. Hopefully, that will continue in their development, and they'll progress. But listen, you've got to be positive, haven't you? And again, the potential is there for Leicester to finish well in the second half of the season, hopefully.
Yes, hopefully so. And hopefully it all starts, as we've said, with a victory today against Sheffield United. That win against Derby obviously was only a few days ago at the back end of 2025. And following that game, Leicester City have made 2 changes to the team that beat Derby. One of them we kind of expected. Ricardo comes in at right back. Hamza came off injured, didn't he, in that game? But he is on the bench, which is a bonus this evening against a club he spent time on loan with last season. The other changes up top, you'll notice. It is a first start for the club for Silko Thomas. He scored off the bench, didn't he, against QPR a couple of weeks ago. He's impressed since he's come off the bench in recent weeks, and he is rewarded with his first start. Stolarczyk in goal, Ricardo, Nelson, Okoli and Thomas, James and Skip, the midfield 2, Fatawu, Cordova-Reid and Mavididi supporting Silko Thomas. On the bench, it's Begovic, Ayew drops out, he is the other change from the team that beat Derby. Chowdhury, Daka, Vestergaard, Page, Marsal, Monga and Aluko. Nuge, I'll start with you because I think the headline team news is up top. As a former striker yourself, you're seeing Silko Thomas there coming in. Have you been impressed with what we've seen? It's a small sample size, isn't it, from Silko Thomas? We've not seen too much off the bench from him, but he's rewarded with a start.
Yeah, well, I came to the game against Derby, and when he did come on, he injected a lot of energy up front, closing people down, when let the defenders have no time with the ball. Every time it went to the goalkeeper, you close the goalkeeper down to make him rush his kicks. And I think that allows the whole team to push up the pitch as well as a team. And, when you got Ayew up there or Bobby Cordova-Reid, they haven't got that, that pace to close someone down. They probably can do it, but not at the level as Silko can do it. And I think it's better for Silko if he does play. It shows to me that we're going to press from the front and try and win the ball back and try and win the ball back in their half and try and counter-attack that way.
Yeah, on top of that as well, it's a little bit of an outlet, isn't it? With Thomas, in terms of when you have got possession, he can run those channels a little bit.
He seems quick, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he's quite aggressive in his running manner, if that makes sense. He doesn't mind digging into defenders and trying to unsettle them a little bit, and he makes runs with purpose and a little bit of aggression, and like I say, it takes away the onus, because we said about Ayew, very often comes short. He does try to spin occasionally, but it's not his game, and there's a big emphasis on James and Decordova-Reid to get beyond. That can be difficult to continue doing that, in terms of like sapping energy, but especially away from home. When you've got other things to worry about, like dealing with the opposition. So hopefully Thomas will help in that department, but they have to get control of the game a little bit first.
Yeah, but I think he needs to back up of his two wingers as well. He can't do it all by himself. Steffi's going to have to work hard. Abdul's going to have to work hard as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
to help him out, because you've seen it in the game.
Everyone's got to work hard.
Everyone's got to do it. But I suppose obviously Silko wants to do it. That's the thing. He wants to close people down. He wants to try and win the ball back in the opposition half. Where I don't think Jordan Ayew wants to run and try and win it back. He wants to come short, receive it, and do his little thing on the ball. But I think away from home, I think it's going to work out.
Yeah, we'll see. You have to see how it unfolds, because I don't think Leicester are a team that are in full-out press throughout the constant, the whole game. Perhaps in phases, in periods in the game. But listen, it all depends on the day. Who's dominant in possession, first of all. Yeah,
he scored his first goal for the club, Nugent, off the bench against QPR, albeit it was an odd goal, wasn't it? Coming, off the post from the penalty, still had to put it away. What will that do for his confidence? Do you think?
It just builds it for one. He's just reacted sharp, and from there, I know the game was
quite awkward,
pretty much over. Yeah, it's bounced upon him as it. Obviously the pen's missed. He's followed in. His second reaction in it. Off his left foot into the middle of the goal. Really, obviously the keeper tries to get up and save it again. Almost gets there, but it'll do him good. All wingers, strikers, want to score goals. He got that one. He's made a few more appearances off the bench where he's looked sharp and lively, and he gets his chance tonight to try and prove a point. Yeah, speaking of goals, Matt, there were a couple of them against Derby. That man who just missed the penalty originally there, Bobby Decordova-Reid, continues this nice little run of scoring, 4 in 6 for Decordova-Reid now.
Yeah.
And he took that goal against Derby really well.
Yeah, listen, he's become, certainly over recent weeks, like an integral part, hasn't he? And he brings more than just goals. Goals are pretty handy, of course, but brings a little bit of guile, a little bit of nous and intelligence into that number 10 position, and gets in advanced areas. He supports the front man. Here we go, just held his ground more than pulled off on that instance. Just drifted in a little bit, didn't he? But there we see a better angle of it there. It's not a spectacular move. It's just intelligent. It's staying in the areas where defenders are not looking to go, really. The natural thing is trying to get across the defender. But he's pulled out similar-ish to the goal against Bristol City. But he's showing variety to his play as well, which we knew he'd got. He's just sort of getting that run of games, isn't it? And that match sharpness for him. And he's been exceptional, yeah.
He's got confidence, hasn't he?
A lot of confidence. You see there with his movement, I think Sanderson was marking Ayew, who's behind him, and I think Bob Decordova-Reid just pulled off a little bit, and he gained 2 yards and the balls fell to him for a side foot finish.
He helps organise. Sorry, Nude. Thought he finished, sorry. He was. he helps organise though as well. You see him ordering around because he's been around the block. He knows the script on the level, and he's a great addition. He's been there a while, but to have that amongst the other younger players, especially, is very handy.
And 4 in 6 as well. Yeah, that just proves where his game's at the moment, and maybe it took him a little bit of time, whether it's the new system, new manager that came in the summer, whatever it might have been. He's clearly found, and he had a few injury problems as well. He's clearly found his position now, hasn't he, in that number 10 role, and he's thriving in it.
Yeah, obviously that one against Norwich, great finish. Just seen one against Derby in the return leg when we played my Pride Park. Obviously Bristol, they're pretty similar goals, aren't they? Really, that one.
Yeah, those two.
That Bristol City one, and obviously the Derby one, a King Power last week. Again, from outside the box. So it's a range of finishes which he's brought into his locker. This one again, pulling off, side foot finish in the bottom corner. He's been in the right place at the right time, and if he's getting the opportunities to shoot, he's taking it. He's not like dwelling on the ball, trying to pass it. He wants to try and get the team back into the game or get the team in front, by having shots.
It complements Jordan James as well, I think. It allows him to get the best out of himself, and they're from that deeper position. They link up well, and at times they both together, they're making runs into the box, supporting the striker, whoever that may be. So I think you'll see more evidence of that again tonight, hopefully.
Speaking of confidence, speaking of Jordan James and doing well and having good seasons, he's absolutely having a fantastic time of it, isn't he? And again, he's in and amongst the goals, and great bit of strength for this goal.
Yeah, and pace. I know Liam Thompson, the Derby lad, he's not the quickest, but you see Jordan James here, a variety of finishes again, arriving into the box. Obviously, you all know this one cutting inside and whipping it into the top corner. That's probably his best of the lot, in it, that one. I think so. Again, Norwich, just last minute, was it?
Yeah. This is what he's good at, just
arriving into the box, right time. He's not standing still, he's moving, he's always on the move. Again, he plays little... You can't argue, guys. Every shot he takes, seems to, trouble the keeper or it's on target. Again, another late run into the box.
All sorts, isn't it? Nice little montage, isn't it?
Even this one, he gets a bit of luck with the deflection, goes through the defender's legs, keeper doesn't see it. But the one last week, as beats Liam Thompson, gives him a little shove, has the awareness to see where the keeper is and just put it to the side of him. And he's been excellent this season, hasn't he? He's been by far our best player.
Yeah,
he deserves all the credentials he's earned at the minute.
Yeah, I think you could see that in the moment he walked through the door, the quality that he possesses, and he hasn't disappointed there. But he's been doubly vital as well, because it's taken the load off the striker, the pressure off the striker, scoring goals, more regular goals, which they've struggled to do, and that will hopefully help Thomas tonight as well, because he's not there to fix and remedy everything. He's there to contribute, because there are others that can do that as well.
Speaking of Thomas, it was his namesake Luke that played the ball, wasn't it, for Jordan James for that goal against Derby, which we can take a closer look at. But you were impressed with actually just that early ball that was played by Thomas, and James was able to get on the end of it.
Yeah, well, it was. I think it was sort of the right ball at the right time, sort of thing, because sometimes defenders are not expecting it. Especially say from Leicester, playing it into an area and a channel. But the players get to understand each other's game as well, because he's seen that, or he knows that Jordan James is. There was like a signal, wasn't it, when it went back? Jordan James was pointing it with Thomas. Must have seen that at the corner of his eye, or got a shout, whatever. It was good, like linking up together. But it's easy to turn back and go to the goalkeeper, etc. But when you've got players that will burst forward, which Jordan James will do, that percentage ball, it can be very useful, and was on that occasion. He made the best of it, mind you.
Yeah, no, great ball down the line. He's not like he's put it into an area where he can run onto.
Yeah.
Which I like, which Jordan James is allowed to run onto, use his strength and get the finish. Luke's. I don't think he'll be happy with his performances in recent weeks, but I thought against Derby done really well. One of his better ones, and managed to get an assist in as well. Yeah,
speaking of loans at Sheffield United, both Hamza and he have had recent spells there, so they'll know how difficult it'll be tonight.
They've always been sort of through the years, haven't they? Like quite an abrasive side, haven't they? Yeah, and
under Wilder especially.
Yeah, under Wilder, but like going back over the years, Harry Bassett and Neil Warnock, etc., and the City of Steel and all that. There's a rough edge to Sheffield United, isn't there? And less so the case these days, but you're up against it ordinarily. They had a shocking start to the campaign, but unsurprisingly under Chris Wilder, they've improved things a little bit. Yeah,
let's hear from inside the dressing room now. Ben Nelson spoke after the game, after that victory rather, with Derby on, when was that? What day was that? Monday evening?
3 days ago.
Yeah, no one knows today at this time of year. After that game with Derby, Ben Nelson spoke looking ahead to this trip to Bramall Lane.
Obviously loads of positives from that game, and we've got to take as much as we can and see what we did well and kind of bring that into the next game as well.
We'll be carrying a few injuries after a couple of players went down against Derby County back at home. How will the team make up for those losses?
It's always going to happen in this period. It's busy and there's not much time to recover between games. So we know that it can happen, and we've got plenty of players, as you saw. Some of the young lads that came on to replace them were top. So yeah, we've got plenty of players that can come in and do similar jobs.
The manager's been speaking recently about consistency. How important is it to build on the good result against Derby County to take that into Sheffield United?
100%. As I said, we know what we need to do, and that's something that we've been lacking. We've had a couple of wins, and then we get a couple losses and poor results, and we let ourselves down. But now we need to build a string of results, and yeah, build the consistency up.
Ben Nelson there speaking after the win against Derby. How impressed, Matt, have you been with him?
Yeah, I think it's nothing I didn't really expect from him. He got a couple of opportunities last year, didn't he? Sorry, was it the season before last, wasn't it? It
was on loan at Oxford
time goes by. It was Oxford last year, wasn't it? And all the reports coming out there were impressive. And his time was right, really, to step in. I was actually surprised he didn't get a chance earlier. A couple of, dare I say, iffy games or patchy games probably in pre-season perhaps didn't do him too great a favour, and the managers looked for experience initially, but he's come round to the way of thinking of a lot of people, I think, really, because Ben Nelson's got many attributes. He looks very calm and composed on the pitch and off the pitch, as you saw there in the interview. He's got a lot going for him, and he's tall, he's strong enough. Perhaps like he's only going to get better and learn the game, isn't he? He's not totally two-footed, but he can play with both feet, can't he? And understanding the game. And I think it's quite significant tonight that, not that Nelson's playing, but that he's pairing again Okoli and Nelson when Vestergaard is deemed as fit, I'm guessing, as he's on the bench. That's quite a big statement, really, that he's putting trust in those two, because they're relatively young, but they've both got a lot of potential.
Yeah, he's took the words out of my mouth there. I think the pairing with Okoli is massive. They've struck a partnership together now, haven't they? So it's like,
but when you're a centre forward, you go up against them, you think, could have my hands full here tonight, because they've got a lot of qualities.
Both physical, they're both pretty quick off the ball as well.
If they're concentrated, it's
90 minutes.
It's churning out performances. Yeah, consistency is the key as a centre half. The older you get, the better you get generally. But they have it within them. But there are, there's going to be little blips along the way, but hopefully they can minimalise them.
Minimalise them.
Minimalise, that's a word, isn't it? Is it not?
I think so. It just didn't sound right. We are just over 10 minutes now. You're getting excited, aren't you? We're just over 10 minutes away now from kick-off up at Bramall Lane. As ever, the game is available with us. Depending where you are in the world, you can watch the game with us on Fox's Hub. All the information of what is available to you and who it is available is on Fox's Hub. There are international half-season passes available for £90, which would be a good idea, as would the Listen Live monthly pass, as we are into a new year and a new month. They are available for £4.99 for the month. That's if you want to listen to all the action, particularly if you're here in the UK, you will only be able to listen to it with us. There is a new prize available for members who sign into the app and become a member on the app. So 2025 and 26 members and season ticket holders can win a 1992 retro shirt. You never wore that one.
No, 97, mate.
No. 97.
I was 28 at the time, though, so I was in the running.
Yeah, big.
Are you thinking minimise?
Yeah.
Not minimalise?
Yes, I am.
We'll go and check it, yeah?
Okay, after that one. I like that it's still in your brain there. You're still thinking.
what have we just said then?
I can't remember.
Yeah, but getting close to kick-off now, you know what the atmosphere is going to be like. It's always good at Sheffield United, isn't it? So
at the start,
Leicester need to quieten that down, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. I think we just need to. I think Ben said in his interview, we need to get down a bit of consistency now. Winning a game at home against Derby, we need to go and back it up against Sheffield United. There's no point in turning up now and putting in a performance where it's not good enough and we get beat. It's all about consistency and making a run of it, and no better way. Sheffield United, coming off a bad defeat against Wrexham, so they're going to be up for it. So we need to make sure we come out on top again. Press from the front and try and get in front and try and keep the crowd quiet.
Yeah, it showed that determination that they showed 3 days ago. against Derby, it wasn't, an overly attractive game, but it was, the performance was what was needed at that time. And to show Leicester need to get them, the teams are fired up to play against Leicester. Leicester need to get themselves fired up and be prepared for that every game. And then hopefully the quality comes through, but you've got to match that first, and no more so than Sheffield United.
We've seen a lot of graft from everybody in the Derby game. I mean, everyone was grafting together, and the fans, that's what the fans want to see. Yeah. And we picked the result by doing it. It wasn't the best performance, but everyone putting effort in. No. And if you win a game by putting a bit of effort in,
from that, don't they, as well? But
and the fans can go away or go.
As Ben said, regularly, consistently. It's got to be sort of self-driven, really, and a collective. But it's difficult to pinpoint. That's what the manager's been saying about it, isn't he? Sort of scratch his head a bit. Why can't we provide this consistency? Now's the time.
Yeah, actually, when it comes to starting games, that QPR game obviously was a terrible start. Since then, they've scored early against Watford. They scored early against Derby. So hopefully we see that again. And, they work so hard. In my very non-expert opinion, I think it was the hardest I think they've worked all season, was that win against
Derby.
Felt
like
that.
Felt it, yeah.
They've got it within them. They've grafted and ground out a few results through the season. Charlton away springs to mind. Oxford away springs to mind. One or two others. They've played very well on a few other occasions, but again, it's consistency that is needed. That word keeps popping up. It's popping up.
Yeah, I think it's the situation of the game as well. If you win in, there's 20 minutes to go. You got something to hold on to as 11 years, so the lads start to graft a little bit more. I know that should be the whole case, the whole game,
but you can't start 10 minutes sloppy. You're running the risk, aren't you? True. Before you know it, the game's going away from you. So you've got to be extremely focused, and then there's a lot of potential there.
But you're expecting, because Silko Thomas is up front, and we saw how hard he worked against Derby when he came on.
I'm expecting to see that from the off, because he wants to do it. So I think that'll push the whole team up the pitch to help out.
Yeah, to a degrey, I think he will. I don't think it will change totally the way Leicester play him. I think as much as anything, it will give him that outlet.
I think it's more out possession that he's in the team.
Do you think?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah. But then the others, I'm not sure Leicester have got necessarily like the players that ideally would go be really efficient at the press, perhaps at times.
Well, we'll see.
But definitely an outlet though. Under a bit of pressure that they're going to be, and then
turn it round, almost like Luke Thomas did for the JJ goal.
A little bit.
Well, hopefully we see a repeat of what happened against Derby 3 days ago. 2025 ended well, didn't it? Let's hope 2026 starts well. Our commentary team for the game today is Niall McCorn and Jerry Taggart. We'll be crossing to them very shortly. Before that, though, here's a little explainer of what is available to you on Fox's Hub and how you can find it.
If you are watching on lcfc.com, just sit back and relax. If you are watching on social media, the live stream will finish shortly. If you want to continue enjoying our coverage, you'll need to head over to lcfc.com/Fox's Hub and purchase one of our game passes. If you are watching in a territory where the game isn't live on TV, you'll be able to watch a live video stream on Fox's Hub. Please visit lcfc.com/territories to check. If you can't find your location, live audio commentary is still available. You'll need to have an lcfc.com account before you purchase your Game Pass. If you already have one, please sign in and select your product at lcfc.com/Fox's Hub. Select the Buy button and you'll be taken to the payment page. Once you've followed the simple payment steps, press Continue at the bottom of the screen and you'll be taken to the Fox's Hub homepage. If you purchased a video pass, please select Watch Live from the Fox's Hub drop-down menu. If you purchased a Listen Live pass, please select Listen Live. If you purchased a seasonal or monthly video pass and the game is not being shown in your territory, please select Listen Live. If you are having a payment or technical issue, please email Leicester TV Support at streamamg.com. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy the match.